Everybody, Peter Facinelli here. So, Haute Living, which I'm very blessed to be in this month's magazine, asked me to share some of my favorite memories from sets that I've been on. So, okay, here goes. Twilight. Let's start with Twilight. I'm trying to think of a good one for you guys because Twilight, I think I've told every single story so far. I remember the first day meeting Rob Pattinson. He had extensions in his hair. The director, Catherine, was playing with possibly having Edward have long hair. So when I met him, he had really long hair down to his shoulders, kind of looked very caveman-y, and he hated it. He hated it so much that I think he pulled them out like one string at a time until like 3 days later it was just gone, and I think he just felt uncomfortable in it. I don't know if it was a decision him and Catherine made together or if he just didn't like it, but then his pompadour from Edward was born out of his real hair, so I think it was a good call. I think that was definitely the right call. Let's see, Nurse Jackie. Wow, 7 years of Nurse Jackie. So many memories flood through my mind. I remember, the cast, first of all, was just phenomenal. It was like doing a play every week. And I was, at the same time, I was doing Twilight, so I would be on set in New York, and then I would get on an airplane and fly to Canada, and then I'd be playing Carlisle for a couple of days or a week, and then I'd fly back and play Coop from Nurse Jackie. So it was and then I'd fly to LA and see my kids. So it was a lot of airplane traveling. People used to ask me if I ever got my lines mixed up, but they're very, very different characters. So I don't think that I could ever possibly. I'm waiting on a plane. I don't think I could ever possibly mix those two characters up. So I never said the wrong lines. But that was a good one from Nurse Jackie. I remember doing a scene with Edie Falco, and she was so good that her line was just what? I ask her a question, she says what? And then I'm supposed to say another line. But honestly, she was so realistic when she said what, I thought she didn't hear what I said, so I repeated my line again. And then she said what? And I repeated my line again. And then she said what? And I repeated again, and she said no, that's my line. And I was like, oh my god, you're so good that I literally thought you didn't hear what my line was. I was just repeating it for you. I had a good time on that show. It was a very fun character to play. Glee, wow, a lot of memories from that show. With what happened with Naya, that really broke my heart. And I remember seeing her sing for the first time, and she just blew me away. I had never really watched the show and seen her sing, and so to see her sing live, it was so powerful, and I was so impressed, and she was such a sweetheart. It was a very tragic loss. I'm gonna move on because I don't want to get teary-eyed on that one. Supergirl. Wow, Melissa Benoist was so sweet on that. Everybody was so nice. I had such a good time. That character was a lot of fun too. I don't know if we had any crazy stories on that one, because it was one of those shows where we were filming Fast and Furious, and you get on set, you gotta crank it out and know your lines and just do your scenes and move on. So it was super fun, and but I don't know if I have any crazy stories from that set. But it was certainly a fun. Oh, I do have one actually. This is a terrible story, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. So I was doing a scene with Makad Brooks, who played Jimmy Olsen, and I was supposed to be threatening him with this rubber wrench, and then as we got closer to his coverage and my coverage, they swapped it out for a real wrench. It was a giant, plumber's wrench, and I'm swinging it around and threatening him, and it literally slipped out of my hands and hit him in his knee. And I don't mean to laugh, I'm so uncomfortable still. I felt so bad because it actually hurt him a lot. I don't think I've ever hurt an actor before on set. I felt really bad. And so he went to the emergency room and he had to get his knee checked out. We had to shut production down. I felt terrible. But he got the day off. So I bought him some socket wrenches as a gift, and I gave it to him. I said, if you ever need a day off, just give me one of these and I'll help you out. He laughed and he forgave me. So sorry about that, Makad. Let's see, Can't Hardly Wait. Wow, Can't Hardly Wait. That's 20 years ago, maybe longer, 1998, 22 years ago. I have really fond memories from that one. I mean, there were so many cool people in that were just now are famous, and back then we were all just starting out. But it was kind of like one big fun party to go to. But I do remember I was about 22 years old. I was playing 18, and I had a baby at the time. A newborn baby, and the baby, Luca, my oldest, she scratched my cornea. And so there's a scene in Can't Hardly Wait where they had to half light my face. If you go back and watch that movie, they called it the Bruce Willis lighting, because it's very like moody, and half of my face is in shadow, because that eye was so puffed up and red that I couldn't do the scene. I literally couldn't keep my eye open. So I was literally acting with half my face. So go back and watch that and look for the scene. I think it's around the dance floor or something. I come in and ask where Amanda is, and half my face is in the dark, in the shadow. And finally, The Vanished, which is a movie that I wrote and directed, which is coming out August 21st. I hope you guys watch it and enjoy it. It was a long time in the works for me, and I'm really proud of it, and I hope that you guys like it. That movie, Anne and Thomas Jane and Anne Heche star in that film as two parents whose daughter goes missing. It's kind of a whodunit, who took the kid, and it's a fun story. You get to, I mean, as much as a thriller about your child gone missing could be fun, but it's fun in the sense that it's kind of like a Hitchcock film where there's lots of red herrings and you try to figure out who it is that took the child, and there's lots of surprise twists in it, and maybe you'll figure it out before the ending, and maybe you won't. When I had the script, no one had figured it out just from reading the script, so I'm excited to see if people actually figure it out while they're watching it. What are some stories from that one? It was a crazy time because we started pre-production in Ohio, and then we didn't get the tax incentive in time to film, so we had to move the whole production to Alabama, literally in a week, and I had to start all over with all new. I had like a week to get all new locations and recast some of the roles, and we brought in some of the cast from Ohio, some of the day players, and some of the supporting players. Everybody did a fantastic job, but it was such a crazy shoot because it was very fast, it was very furious, and it was just a whirlwind, and but what I remembered thinking was, under that kind of pressure, sometimes it's good because it doesn't give you too much room to think. It only gives you a lot of time to react. So, in order to make days and to make sure that I got everything and not compromise the film, it was it was an exercise in being able to, like, on the fly change stuff around. I remember the first scene, there was a Steadicam shot, which is just a camera that a guy puts on a harness and he's following the actor, and the Steadicam just kind of broke down, and my whole day I was going to do Steadicam stuff that whole day. So we had to figure out very quickly how I wanted to capture things, and I thought, well, I want to make sure the camera's moving, so we could put it on a dolly, which is tracks, and keep the camera moving. And they were like, well, we don't have dolly tracks till tomorrow. So I was like, okay, do we have like a tripod and a slider so we can keep the camera moving that way? And they did. And actually the shot that we ended up doing became a lot cooler, in the end. So sometimes things don't go as planned, but sometimes it turns out better than expected. Apparently I live above an airport. I never knew it was this crazy loud. So I hope that you guys heard me okay. I hope that you enjoy the shoot and the pictures, and make sure you tune in for The Vanished, coming out August 21st. Thanks, guys.